We'll see what happens in the future. Perhaps we've got some more real stuff to come.
So hey guys, and welcome to another chapter of the Malt Chronicles, and we are doing our top 10 whiskies, cognacs, bourbons, just spirits of 2018. And we're going to do a top 10, and first of all we're going to have young David over here, and he's going to tell us his top 9. And then we're going to jump over to me, and I'm going to tell you my top 9, and then likewise Vas is going to tell you his top 9, and then all of us together, one by one, will tell you our top whiskey experience of 2018. So without further ado, let's get cracking.
It was difficult to get the top 10 as it was more like a top 100 for me. I've sit and I've think like what have I tried all this year through visiting distilleries, meeting brands, doing trainings and all of that. Yeah. And I've counted just under 700 products that I've tried.
Wow.
Just under
That's been a lot of tasting in 2018. Try.
I don't think I tasted quite as many as that, but perhaps I was slightly less fresh. I have got a list, and it took me a long time to compose and to sit and think about. It wasn't just an overnight job, and some of these whiskies in here, it's not just about the whiskey, but the experience that I had with that whiskey, and perhaps I learned a little bit of something by trying that. So there are things on this list that you might go, why is that there? But there are things that open my eyes to different spirits.
And another fun thing is that we don't actually know each other's top 10. So it's going to be interesting.
Okay, David, boom, shoot it.
So, I started off with Starward, which is an Australian whiskey, and the reason that is in my list is because I'd never thought about it being as good as it was. From a country I didn't expect it from.
Wow.
Very impressive. So that takes my number 10 spot.
Okay, number 10 done. Number 9, please.
Number 9 is something that I tried for the first time with the both of you. And it's Talisker Port Rory. And the reason this makes the list is because drinking that with 2 of my best friends in the world was a great day for me. I was very happy. And a tear may drop from that. just a little one. That's why Talisker made the list.
Perfect. And number 8?
Kahlila 18. And the reason Kahlila 18 makes the list is because we tried Kahlila 18 just after trying Highland Park 18. And they talk about Highland Park being one of the best 18-year-olds you'll ever have, one of the best drams ever. And the Kahlila blew it out of the water for me. Wow. Like, I was like, do you know what? Wow. That is something I'm not going to forget anytime soon. Next.
Okay, and I think we're on 7.
Next we're on to 7, and Altmore 25.
Oh.
And Altmore 25 was amazing. They used a mix of American oak and sherry cask, non-chill filtered, natural colour, and the flavour just kept giving. Best Altmore I've had in my life by a long way.
And number 6.
Now this is the one I'm probably going to pronounce wrong, but a friend of mine brought something back from Moldova. Divine President, I think it's called, which is a 50-year-old cognac, brandy. And that's an eye-opener. That was, I've never had a 50-year-old spirit before in my life, so to try something of that age, it's going to be buried in my head for the rest of my life. And that's why it gets number 6 on the spot.
And number 5.
Number 5.
Okay.
And that was Angel's Envy Rye rum cask finish.
Wow.
This literally reopened my eyes to bourbon and made me go, okay, well, I can't disregard everything from America. And, I tried that and I was like, okay, fair enough. That was amazing.
Number 4.
Yeah, number 4. That we tried at cask strength, Glenfiddich Winter Storm. And as I say, we tried this at 51%, and we'd literally seen the barrels maybe half an hour beforehand in the warehouse. I literally walked past the barrel and I went, that's just Winter Storm. And I thought this was going, and to get an opportunity to try it at full strength, wow.
And I believe we're on number 3.
Number 3 we are, and Aberfeldy single cask. And this is something that Aberfeldy don't normally do, so This is a natural colour Aberfeldy, and if you look at the colour of it, you'll see what I mean. So it's a full sherry cask maturation from 1999 and cask strength. Whilst I was there, I got to try it from the barrel, and then I was like, I'm buying a bottle of this right now.
And number two.
Number two.
Runner up.
Middleton Dark Gaelic. So this is obviously a Middleton that they only produce at Middleton. It's a pot still whiskey, and just opened my eyes to Irish pot still whiskey, because I don't think I'll ever have another one as good as that. That was amazing.
Okay, so that was up to number two, and you're saving your number one.
I'm saving number one.
Okay, so I'm going to go with my top 10 to, well, top 10 to 2 as well now. So here we go. So my number 10 was Optimal 8.2. I was blown away by the thought of this whiskey has never been in a bourbon cask or a sherry cask. It's been in 4 types of wine casks. It was just an absolute treat. Number 9, we're sticking in Islay. And it is Kilchoman Sultan's wine cask. Again, this is an absolute peat dessert, and Kilchoman is a distillery that I'm going to be keeping a very close eye on next year, this up and coming year, and I was very excited by this whiskey, loved it. Number 8, now this is Glen Geary, and it was a fully matured Bordeaux wine cask. And it was just simply amazing from start to finish. We actually named it as well, and because we got to give it our personal name, and we named it the Malt Chronicles whiskey. So it was a very special whiskey to me. Now, number 7. Now, this is an eye-opener for me, because this literally made me look at a category of a certain spirit, and I was just like, I'm sold. I want more of this. I want to explore this more. And it was Elijah Craig 18 is actually my number 7. And it's just an elevated bourbon. It's just simply smooth, rich, tasty. So that's why it made my top 10. And now number 6. Now, I like to be challenged. And when I got told about this whiskey, the guy had the audacity to boast that this is the best whiskey he's ever tried in his life. And I said, well, he's making a bold statement here. I need to try this whiskey. And it was the Talisker 18-year-old. And when I tried it, I just couldn't stop talking about it. I was like, wow, this is phenomenal. Like Talisker 18, oh, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. So that's why it's my number 6. And number 5 was Springbank 25 years old. Now this was a luxury dram, simply from nose to the finish. It's just pure, this is pure delight. Phenomenal whiskey. Now number 4 is number 4. This whiskey again, I actually challenged this distillery. It is the Middleton Dark Gaelic, and it is absolute phenomenal. I actually said to the guy, I said, I'm going to have to suck eggs here, because this is the best pot still Irish whiskey I've tried, and it literally put pot still back on the map for me. Now number 3, this is a part of an antique series from Buffalo Trace, and it was the Sazerac rye whiskey, 18 years old. Wow. As soon as I tried it, I looked above this and I was like, oh my god, I want this. And then I found out that it's £800 a bottle, and I was like, maybe I'll buy one day. I'll buy that one day. But definitely number 3, because I was just like blown away. Now, my number 2 is a whiskey that is very close to my heart. Because on a certain special day of the year, which was my birthday, my best friends, they bought me a certain whiskey, because they didn't know how much of it I love sherry bombs, and they bought me the Glen 21 years old. Oh, Pedro Jimenez Oloroso sherry bomb, and it was just a special moment for me, so it had to be in my top 10, and it had to be in my top 3. Okay, so that was up to number 2. Now we're going to go straight to Vas. Vas, from 10 to 2. What was your...
Right, one of my personal criteria is the whiskey has to be unforgettable. As sometimes you try an expensive whiskey and you just completely forget about it, even if it's like something very renowned. So I'm gonna base my top 10 on how unusual it was and how unforgettable it was. Okay, here we go. Number 10. It's Ben Romach Sassicaia wine finished. It's probably one of the most interesting 8 years olds that I've tried in my life. 6 years in first fill bourbon, 2.5 years in Tuscan wine finish. That reminded me of a dessert which I like, which is called halva. Number 9. That was probably my personal discovery of the year. Is the Glenfiddich 15 years old, the Distillers edition. That one is 51% alcohol and it's a completely different Glenfiddich. It's much more powerful and it reminded me of vanilla ice cream. Every time I'm smelling it, it reminds me of vanilla ice cream. Number 8, and it's a cognac. It's the Baronotard 1972 vintage. It's a 40 years old cognac. And oh my god, it's everything that cognac is trying not to be. It's muscular, it's substantial. There's nothing commercial about it. It's not sanitized. It doesn't come in a fancy bottle. I wish cognacs would be more like this. I wish cognacs would be more like this. Right, number 7, and that was an accident. It's Hudson Maple Cask Rye Whiskey from Toothhill Town Distillery. A young rye whiskey aged in small casks and then finished in maple seasoned casks. A very naughty little trick, but oh my god, does it pay off. Whiskey and maple syrup, they somehow go naturally together, and rye spicy, herbal, and with the sweetness of the maple, it's just incredible. And we've tried that by accident. We've seen it in a restaurant, we saw it on a shelf and we said, can we try that? We've tried it and it happened to be one of the most interesting whiskies of the year.
Oh, okay.
Number 6, and it's a Campbelltown Hazelburn, 10 years old, triple distilled, bourbon matured. It's a little gem of a whiskey. It's a very relaxed malt for Campbelltown. It's a much more sweeter side of the Campbelltowns. Number 5, and that would be a blend. It's Jua's 30 years old Pedro Jimenez cask finish. To me, that was taking the blend to another level, a much more elevated level. A 30 years old, very oaky and intense, and then you add the sweetness of the Pedro Jimenez. It's absolutely incredible. By the way, I was drinking that on my holiday when I was on boat, where the Aegean Sea meets to the Mediterranean Sea, so I'm not gonna forget that.
That's a memorable moment right there.
Number 4, and it's Irish whiskey, Middleton Dyer Gaelic. Pot still whiskey, 15 to 22 years old, cask strength, finished in virgin, 150 years old Irish oak. Every batch includes a different tree from different Irish forests. You can't make whiskey any more Irish than this. It left me speechless. It's raw Irish power, and did I mention the word Irish enough? I hope I did. Number 3, and it's an Isla, Kilhoman Makir Bay. 46% alcohol, natural color, and absolute stunner of a whiskey. First fill bourbon casks married with a few sherry butts. Exotic fruits, taking holiday on Isla. And I still to this day cannot believe that this whiskey is around 6 years old.
Wow.
And it's about 30 pounds. Incredible. Number 2, Springbank 25, 2017 version, 46 ABV. Campbelltown whiskies at an older age tend to be phenomenal. This one was aged in bourbon and sherry, and then it was married by the end in port pipes. 1 sentence, liquid meets perfection. And then I'll give you my number 1 after.
Okay, so we're going to go into our number 1s now from our top 10. So we're going to start off back to David, and then we'll go straight from and forward this way.
So my number 1 whiskey.
Number 1.
I think they may have guessed what it is, but it was trying something that I never probably get to try again.
Okay.
And that's Glenfiddich 15-year-old, cask strength, straight from the vat, unreal.
Okay.
Unreal.
Is that a Solera?
So
Yeah, the
Solera
Solera
vat.
15. The Solera vat 15, cask strength,
Cask strength.
literally straight out of the vat with a copper dog on, just unreal. Unreal. I can't compare it to any other whiskey I've tried this year.
So, my number one. My number one was a whiskey again that I probably will never get to try it again in this way. I think it was in David's top 10 earlier. It was the Glenfiddich Winter Storm at cask strength at 51%. It is just, for me, it's like taking winter fruits, putting on a cheesecake, and then condense it down to a liquid, and it's just dessert in your mouth, and it was just incredible. And at that time, when I nudged him, I was like, did he just say the Winter Storm cask strength? And I remember angels were singing like, whoa! And when I tried it, it just hit everything I wanted in a whiskey.
That was a phenomenal
It was phenomenal. And it's a shame because we're never going to get to try it like that again, because it's bottled at 43%.
Look at you both, Glenfiddich. Okay, so my number one, it's another Glen, but it's not the Fiddick.
Okay.
It's actually a Glen Geary.
Oh, okay.
And the boys will be surprised. So this is the Glengarry 1978 vintage.
Okay.
39 years old,
Wow, okay.
hand-filled in February 2017, bottled at 55.3% alcohol, cask strength. Now that whiskey is a piece of history. It's a refill bourbon cask, a less active barrel that carries the distillery signature style, slightly peated. Before Glengarry was closed in, I think it was 1994,
Yeah.
and they closed the kilns. So after that, they never made slightly smoky whiskies again. So it's impossible now to recreate that style of whiskey. Nuttiness, you get honey, it's floral, it's
I remember trying that. Yeah, that was phenomenal.
Funny enough, I don't remember trying this.
Yeah, you didn't get to try it. Yeah, you didn't get to try it.
it's one of those whiskies I will never forget.
It's like, it's so interesting because all three of us chose our number one as a whiskey experience. Like, because we're not going to get to try that again. We're definitely not going to get to try the Winter Storm at cask strength again. And for you,
I'm going back to swimming that back.
You probably could do that. Anyway, that was our top 10 whiskies of 2018. Man, I had fun filming this one, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I'd like to say that we're Malt Chronicles. Cheers to you guys. See you in 2019.
We're going to try some more stuff.
Definitely.